Hi, this is Rachel Caskey. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And here you will see me create one of my mixed media pieces called the Cat King. Right now I'm adding clothing pattern for my first layer. I'm just using Mod Podge to adhere the layers to the canvas. Right here you see I'm adding a napkin, a paper napkin. It just has some French wording on it and the Eiffel Tower along with some butterflies and flowers. It's just very pretty, and I've used these napkins in previous pieces of artwork as well, and they make great texture for the background. I don't necessarily have a rhyme or reason of where I'm placing the napkins. It's mostly just to cover the white canvas background so that I can have some interesting background for my paintings. Okay, now you see I'm adding pieces of handmade Nepalese paper. And I love this paper. It's so rich in texture and color. I have many different types of papers at my disposal. I like to buy them at the local craft supply stores. You won't necessarily find these papers at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but more the specialized arts and crafts supply stores. Because usually they get them from directly from Nigeria or Nepal, where they make the papers. I decided not to go with that green piece because I just didn't feel like it fit that well. Now I'm looking to see where I can put the bees. Looks like I found a good spot right there. And a lot of times I'll try to see if certain papers look right or not. The mushrooms just didn't fit in my eyes. And honestly, before I started this piece, I was not necessarily going for Cat King. I didn't really know what I was going to paint this day. A lot of times I approach my paintings that way. I'll just start adding things to the canvas and seeing what the canvas tells me that I need to make that day. No, Rachel, the green is still not working. Maybe some purple. Oh, there we go. Put the purple at the bottom. There we go. Alright, and I think what inspired me to make this into the Cat King is that little piece of paper with the cats on it. It just really stuck out to me. Alright, and sometimes I like to use texture in my paintings, like this polymer acrylic that I add to my paintings. It's sometimes can be hard to work with, and I'm actually using a plastic spatula out here, but I need to get one of the metal ones because the plastic is too easily bendable and it's really hard to use with this type of texture. I like to use stencils like this one and some spray. They just create a really cool effect right there. And I'm just starting to outline around the pieces and trying to create cohesion in the piece by through the use of that pink paint. This is heavy body paint that I'm using. There we go. I really like to outline in paint. It's soothing to me. Okay, and this is when I came up with the cat idea. You noticed I was sitting there contemplating for a moment. What am I going to do next? Oh, look at those cats. I should do a cat. And just start with an outline, a general outline. Now that piece right there is supposed to be the rest of the cat's legs. That part I am personally not that happy with, but I mean, as a whole, the painting turned out great. But that's just my own pet peeve. I just feel like I don't like that particular part of the painting. And as you can see, I am actually using the modeling paste on the cat's face because I wasn't happy with the original face. And that's the nice thing about painting. You can paint over or destroy something you originally started with because you didn't like it. I mean, there are no rules when it comes to that. Working on the eyes is one of the my favorite parts on any painting. If I have you know, an animal or a person, I really enjoy working on eyes. Because if you do them right, it just seems like they're looking into your soul. Now my son, my older son, says he doesn't like the cat because it's purple. He said it's not natural for a cat to be purple. I said it's art. You can do what you want. It doesn't have to be realistic. That's what I love about art. I mean, it can be realistic, and I admire those people who do hyper-realistic paintings, like my uncle Jack Fofligen. He paints hyper realistically. He uses oils, and he's just amazing. All of his paintings look exactly like the originals. It's just, I just love it. But it's not really my style. But that's what's great about art, is you don't have to subscribe to one particular style. There are so many different ways that you can express yourself. And for me, it's just so soothing, so therapeutic. So yeah, I decided to make the Cat King another in my series of winged royalty animals. I've been using a lot of like gold or copper paint in my paintings just to give some shimmer. That's a white paint marker that I'm using there. I noticed it's a little bit difficult using the paint marker on my paintings. I have to be a little bit patient and wait until the paint dries a little bit, because if you notice, I kept wiping the tip of the paint marker because the paint from the canvas was getting onto the tip of the marker. I picked up 3 art crayons at one of the craft supply stores, and I am just absolutely in love with them. You'll see them in most of my newest paintings. They're water soluble, so they work really well with paint. I like to outline the crowns when I make crowns for the animals, and of course create interesting patterns on the wings. I feel like this type of style looks very like pop art style. Yeah, there's some more outlining. I like to do that because I think it makes it pop. There we go. A little bit of black in there. A little black at the bottom. A little bit of red. There we go. More outlining. Pardon my messy desk. I somehow I'm able to thrive in chaos. I've always been that way. I don't have a huge studio. This desk is considered my studio at my parents' house. That's where I live currently while I'm separated from my marriage until I find a new place for myself. So the goal is to someday get a studio of my own. But I have to work up to that. So